Anastasia Arense, Chairperson of Unisa Council, Dr. Musia, and Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Puleli Ngabula. And I must recognize somebody who is very important to me, Judge Mwepe. Of course, I succeeded him. He taught me what to do in this position. But esteemed Calabash Award winners, distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, welcome indeed to this Calabash dinner. I'm very, very glad to see so many of us here. Because again, as our program director just said, this ceremony is indeed an important part of the program of the University of South Africa. And the awards that we're giving, indeed, as she said, they recognize excellence and exemplary achievement of the alumni as well as other South Africans who contributed to shaping the futures in the service of humanity. We recognize, of course, that that's the motto of the university. And last year, as you will recall, I won't be long. Last year, as you'll recall, Unisa celebrated its 150 years. And as we did that, we didn't only meet in order to commemorate and celebrate the past. But what even more important was to ask ourselves the question, where should the university be next year and beyond, after that 150 years? And of course, all of us celebrated the fact that for the first time in that period, we had a woman vice chancellor, which was a very good thing. I think all of us in this room, as we know, our country, South Africa, requires desperately a lot of development, all-round development with regard to the economy, the economic infrastructure, state and its institutions, social infrastructure, and so on. And that would be true of the majority of the countries on our continent. But as I was saying, as we're looking at this 150 years of the university and looking at where the university should be and what it should be doing, this matter came up. That with this university, which is an African university, not just a South African university, what are the consequences of this particular challenge? I'm saying that it's all-round development which the continent, South Africa and the continent need. And clearly, a critical element in terms of that would be the human capital that's required to achieve that development. And therefore, Unisa saw itself as being playing an important role in terms of achieving this development, all-round development I'm talking about, by way of the contributing this qualified personnel, not qualified only in the skills, but in the conceptualization of the role of this product of the university. This same thing, this commitment to contribute to the shaping futures in the service of humanity. That the university had an important role to play in terms of supplying its personnel with the necessary skills and a value system which would contribute to achieving these developmental challenges that our country and continent face. The Vice Chancellor will say something a bit more about this. Therefore, how do we position a university so that it achieves these objectives? I think many of us in the room would be aware that the current General Assembly of the United Nations took some important decisions about what the world political leadership thinks about the future of the world. And one of the things they decided was what they called a global digital compact. Let me just quote one paragraph of this digital compact. It says, we, these nations of the world, we commit ourselves that by 2030, that's in 5 years' time, we'll establish and support national digital skills strategies, adapt teacher training and education curricula, and provide for adult training programs for the digital age. Our aim is maximum coverage of basic digital skills for as many as possible, while also advancing intermediate and advanced digital skills. I'm quoting that just to draw attention to this matter of the critical importance of this human capital I'm talking about. And now we got this resolution which just now two months ago to do this thing about a global digital compact. And surely the university thinks it's part of its task exactly to achieve what this resolution of the UN General Assembly is. So, as I was saying, the Vice Chancellor will say a little bit more about that. The reason I'm raising that, colleagues, you will of course understand it's for very selfish reasons from the point of view of the university, because I'm saying it requires resources for the university to be able to achieve these other things which it must achieve after its 150 years, requires resources. So I'm very, very glad that as many of us are here today, people who are committed to help the university generate those resources in order it can then increase its output of this kind of person that I'm talking about. So welcome indeed to this important award dinner. And I hope all of us have an enjoyable evening. Welcome and thanks.
All right, that is the University of Johannesburg's Chancellor there, former President Thabo Mbeki, at the event that will be honoring some of the country's outstanding men and women, and among them will be Ruth First, an anti-apartheid activist who was killed in Maputo in Mozambique as well, and in 1982 by a parcel bomb. So there are, of course, a number of others who will be honored at this particular event. Certainly an important one, and we'll continue then to bring you developments around this. So let's